Hey, what's up, guys? So today we got my 2011 BMW 328i. I'm going to do the transpan gasket, filter, and fluid today. I'm going to replace it, walk you through all the steps you need to know, what you need to know, this and that, in order to get the job done. So this is going to be specifically for US-Spec models. This is going to be with a GM transmission. I believe it's a 6L45, I want to say. So I'm not going to talk too much. Let's get started. So first things first, this is not an absolutely essential step, but I don't want my shit rolling away on me. I'm jacking it up from the front, so let's go ahead and set the e-brake. And let's get her jacked up. So you're gonna have on each corner of the car, you're gonna have these little lift pads, I guess. You go ahead and just get your jack on there, jack it up. So just make sure as you're jacking it up, you're definitely gonna wanna get that front end pretty high. So of course, as you're jacking it up, take a glance here and there, just make sure it's nice and even. Got a little bit of a tilt this way, so I'm going to go ahead and fix that. So let's get it level. Looks good to me. I'm going to jack it up a little bit more, get it on a jack stand on that side. We'll go ahead and jack it back up. We should go nice and slow with this one. Don't do that. So we're going to go ahead, jack up the rear. Okay, jack's on diff. Let's go ahead and raise it up. Okay, car's nice and level. Let's get started. So now get yourself a drain pan. Don't worry, that's not from any of my cars. Well, it was the one that I used to have. I had a Ford Explorer with the blown head gasket at one point, and that was the fucking milkshake that came out of it. Matter of fact, I'm gonna wash that actually real quick. Okay, so make sure you lay some cardboard down as well. You don't want to, get fluid everywhere, but hopefully with the drain bolt being this one right here, it should just come straight down. But here's the location of the drain pan. Usually there's a splash shield guarding it. I don't know what size the bolts are. Mine, when I bought it, didn't have it. But it should just be a few bolts, should come down. I mean, not a big deal if you lose it. But anyways, so let's get our pan under here, and we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna take this little plug out. So get your pan ready. It's going to be a 5mm for this drain bolt right here. Be careful. Make sure you do not use a standard socket. I tried using the 7/32 and a size up, and I started to strip it. 5mm, it might not seem like it fits in here. In mine, I thought it didn't. I had to bang it in, but it does fit. So let's go ahead and just get her out of there. Make sure you have your pan ready. All right. Bruh. Woo. Interesting. She's definitely seen better days. Wow. That is... Well, that's trans fluid. For a second, I thought I pulled the plug in the oil pan. I ain't gonna lie, I was shitting myself. But, wow, it is not supposed to be this color. So anyways, so we're gonna wait for this all to drain out. And we're gonna drop this pan. It's gonna be 10 mils all the way around, I believe. I'll double check that in a second. Okay, so now, go ahead and get your drain plug. Mine decided to stick itself to my socket. I'm gonna get up in here. Let's put the drain plug back in. So I believe the torque specs on it are, I want to say 10 foot-pounds. Now if you're like me and you don't have a torque wrench on hand, we can just get it in there about hand tight. Let's take our ratchet. If I can get the damn thing in. Let's do it about 1/8 of a turn. Not even. Like a 16th. Nice and tight now. Don't want to over torque it too much. Let's get that out of there. Okay. So now we're going to go ahead and get all these 10 mils off. Okay, so now get your 10 mil, get your ratchet. You're just going to go around and go ahead and start breaking these loose. I'm not going to take them out yet. I don't think there's a specific pattern or anything to taking these out, but I want to get one side drop first. There's going to be maybe a little bit of fluid still in the pan, so I want to have one side lean a little bit so I can drop it kind of this way. So for now, I'm just going to break them loose. I'm going to take them out by hand, and we'll go ahead and drop the pan. I'll show you that. Alright, so got them all broke loose by hand so you can get an idea. Now, if you're like me and your shield's gone, you're gonna have this hanging here, hanging up against the pan. I just grabbed it, pushed it out the way, bent it back. It does not matter. There you go, that's all the bolts, so let's go ahead and drop it. Get the fuck out of there, dog. So, all the bolts are out. It's obviously still on there. It's stuck a little bit, but let's get the pan under it. Right here. Let's see if I can get it off with my hands. Yeah, there we go. Bruh. Don't do what I just did. Okay, so rectified my mistake. Here's a new gasket. There you go. It's a new gasket. It's your old gasket, right? Now you can pry at it with a flathead and get it out, but if you're like me, use your fingernails. There you go. Just go around nice and smooth. But a little hard doing this one-handed, especially in my garage. But there you go, it's out. All right, passenger side, got the 3 bolt holes close together. Driver side far apart. So if we lay these on top of each other, there you go. Totally forgot about the filter. So the filter, I believe, well, obviously it's out right there. Should be able to get a decent little look at this filter. So I'm gonna grab it with 2 hands. Let's see. Just pull it down. There we go. Yanked it down. Fluid's out. I fell in the pan this time. Thank God, but yeah, so, oh Christ, I spilled more. There you go, that's the filter right there. Just grab it 2 hands, pull it down. Seal's gonna stay up in the trans, but like I said, I'm gonna reuse it. It should be fine. So we'll go ahead, put the new one in real quick, and I'll show you what the new filter looks like and how to get that the new seal off of it. So let's go ahead and do that. Go get the new filter. I'll be right back. Oh, please tell me this is the right one. Ah, Christ. Well, to be continued, fellas, because here's the factory filter. Here's the one my dumbass bought. If you can't tell, it ain't the one. See you guys in a week. So, day 2, AutoZone saved my ass. They had it there for $42. Ordered online, picked it up. For the record, I hate AutoZone. I work at Advanced Auto Parts, so of course, I shouldn't be buying these, but they had it. I'm in a pinch. Let's get it. Okay, so let's stick our new filter right here. Also, by the way, it did come with the filter, this AutoZone. It did come with the seal, the AutoZone one, but I'm gonna reuse this factory seal anyways, so I can save myself the hassle of having to pull it. Should be fine. So your hole is gonna be up here in the top, I guess, I don't know, front passenger side. So all you're gonna do is take your filter, find that hole in there, make sure it's straight, pop it in. I don't fit right. There we go. All right, got it. So sorry my head got in the way there, but also there's a little notch up in there in the hole. There's a little plastic piece like this right here on the factory filter, if I can get that to show. You got notches on here that lock into that. And just make sure when you put the new one in that it doesn't hang loose like you saw it doing just a second ago. So now let me wipe my hands down. We'll start putting this pan back on. So go ahead and empty out your pan. Alright, so here's the pan. We're gonna, get some towels, clean it up, but first and foremost, take a look at your magnet. So Got some sludge, of course, as you'd expect, but doesn't look like it's got any metal on it. That's what you want to check for. Make sure your trans isn't about to just grenade out of nowhere, but it looks pretty okay. Okay, I'm out of brake clean. I'm gonna go get some. AutoZone time, baby. Brake clean, baby. Brake clean. So, I had to go get myself a can. But now, so clean your magnet up, like I was saying earlier. Make sure you got no metal. Make sure there's no sludge. We're just gonna go ahead and clean up the pan. So before I start spraying it with brake cleaner though, I'm gonna take my shop towels. And we're just gonna go ahead and wipe this down. Make sure you clean where the gasket sits as well. If you look on here, we got some crust. So make sure you get that. Okay, I've got the magnet nice and clean. Let's put it to the side for now. And it's stuck to the brake cleaner. Okay, give it one last bath, make sure it was nice and clean. So go ahead and take your magnet, pop it back into place. It'll just sit like that. So there you go. She's pretty much good to go back in. Let's just get the gasket, put it on. So take your gasket, get it over the bolt holes like that. So it's pretty much ready to go. Let's just go get back under the car, you know, get it lined up, bolt it back in, and be good to go. Take the pan, go ahead and try and line it up the best you can. Hold on. Get one of your bolts threaded in to hold it. There we go. Okay, so she's hanging. You're just gonna go around, get all the bolts in. There's gonna be 17 in total. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay. So I'm pretty much threading in my corners first. Not all the way in, not even hand tight. Just kind of get the threads in. Make sure that the pan sits upright, so you can get the rest of them in, not have it wobbling around and fighting you the whole damn time. So I'd say do that first. Okay, now as far as actual tightening sequences go, I believe that on this pan, you're gonna go left, right. Start from the center, I wanna say. We're gonna go left, right, left, right, and then just go in a circular pattern the rest of the way. I'll demonstrate in a little bit. So let's start with this one. Alright, we pretty much got all of them left, right. Now I'm just going to go in a spiral. Okay, so nice and tight. Okay, so I checked the torque spec on the pan bolts. Turns out it's only about 10 foot-pounds. So as you're doing that, just make sure you do it hand tight and then torque it. I definitely put them on a little bit tighter than that, but luckily for me, I didn't put them on too tight, so we should be all right. But anyways, so now what you're gonna do is get yourself a flue pump and go ahead and get your trans fluid ready. Okay, so go ahead and take your fill bolts out. It's gonna be, here's your drain bolt. Fill bolt's gonna be right up here. Don't know if you can see it. Yes, you can. It appears to be 17. Let's go ahead and take that out. Okay, let's go ahead and get this out. That thing is definitely pretty tight on there. Broke it loose though. So, take your full bolt out. There you go. That's what it looks like. Now, I should bring this up. Now, you are supposed to use a new full bolt and drain bolt when you replace this, but the kit that I got didn't come with it. Now, BMW, they use aluminum for most of this stuff instead of steel, so it can actually warp over time. But here's hoping it didn't appear to. The gasket looks good too. Make sure you check it. It looks solid. So I got this pump from Advanced Auto where I work. Came with this tubing as well, so all you need to do is get your hose. Damn, my hands are shaking. Slide it up in there. Yeah, take your time, buddy. There we go. Slide it up in there. Take your other end. You're gonna put it in this fill hole. Get it closer. Make sure it sits in there. Trying to get in the hose like I'm doing. I guess I'll go over this little bar here. There we go. Much better. Much better if I can get in there. There we go. Okay. It's up in there. Now, get you a bottle of trans fluid for this car. Like I said, it's a GM transmission. So, you're gonna get you some Dextron 6. Be a little careful. Don't be like me and start spilling trans fluid everywhere. But open your bottle up. Like that. My hands are real damn slippery though. This is a little annoying. Get you a trans fluid. Ooh, smells great. You know, take you a little sip. Then get your hose. This end is going to push fluid. Or this is what's going to pull fluid, I should say. This clear end. Stick it down in your bottle. Okay, I have it touching the bottom. Now we're just going to start pumping. It's going to start filling it up. Yep, tube's ruptured somewhere. So, I guess I'm off to the parts store buying a new pump. Because this one ain't no good no more. Fluid pump. God, I love making YouTube videos. Okay. Back to this bullshit. So, I had to go get a new one. Old one had a little tear in it. Spraying fluid everywhere. So, I got this at Advanced Auto. It was $17.99, but I had some Speed Perks coupons since I worked there. So, I really got it for about $4. So, no big deal. So, take your discharge in right here. I gotta get the kinks out of here too real quick. A little bit better. Let's get this up and into the fill hole. Okay, it's up in there. Let's take our other end, stick it into our bottle of trans fluid, and let's start pumping. Never mind, the hose fell out. Okay. So make sure it's up in there real good. Alright, so pretty much you're gonna start to pump until you get some fluid coming out of here. And you're gonna have to fill it a second time, but I'll explain that in a second. I get my drain pan here for when it does actually start to drain out. Whoa, hose popped off. Okay guys, be careful with these pumps. Apparently the hoses like to pop off. This is much easier to do with more people, by the way. One quart down. Second quart. Spilled some more fluid, of course. Something like that. So quart number 2. fucking god, man. Yeah, like I said, it's a lot easier with 2 people. Okay, 3rd quart empty, onto quart number 4. Okay guys, as you're doing this, you might want to put something down to hold the bottle still, because I've knocked my bottles over twice now. Oh, okay. I see it coming out. Let me just make sure. Yep, she's spilling out. So it took, I want to say, about like 3.5 quarts. It looks like it took that cold. So now I'm going to have my brother come up in here. And what we're going to do, guys, is as he is driving, you see it spilling out, right? But it's not actually full. We're going to have my brother, he's going to come in here. I'm going to have him get in the car, turn it on. I'm going to let it warm up. And we're going to put it in drive and just let it roll for a bit. Now, normally, you would actually run through all the gears. You know, make sure fluid starts going up to the transmission and all that, so you can actually get the level right. But in this car, of course, the manual upshift and downshift doesn't work. Well, I think the manual downshift does work, but the manual upshift doesn't work. I might do a repair video on that. I do know how to fix it. I just haven't done it. So I guess I'm going to have him get up there and just put it in drive and get it as little gas as he can and have it try to run through a few gears. Definitely not having floor, because you can't blow up your transmission like that, I'm pretty sure. So let me get him in here. Enough talking. We'll go ahead and I'll show you what to do. Okay, so take the e-brake off. E-brake off. Okay, put it in drive. Keep your foot on the brake. Then drive. Okay, let off the brake. I'm gonna let it roll for a bit. The trans has to get up to 10. So I'm gonna have him roll through a few gears. Okay, so ran through its 4th quart. Now I'm on quart 5. Okay, looks like looks like we got some fluid dripping out. So now I gotta stick this hose back in. That was the end of the 5th quart, by the way. So I'm gonna stick this back in. I'm gonna have him put it in drive again, run it through some gears, and we'll start to fill it up again. So we're gonna go ahead and get our 6th bottle. It's our 6th quart. We're gonna start pumping it in. If it starts to spill out, I'm gonna have him put it back in drive, run it through a little bit more. I believe it did say that it should take about 6 quarts back in, unless I was low on fluid to begin with, but it wasn't leaking. Okay, that was our 6th quart. Better not take more than this or I'm gonna be pissed. Quart number 7 should take 6.5. Now keep in mind, there's a very, very small amount of fluid still left in these bottles as I'm pumping. So by the end of the 6th quart, or the 7th quart, it's probably going to be about 6.5 and not 7. Yeah, we got some fluid coming out. Okay, put it in drive again and let it roll. neutral. Alright, so we got fluid pouring out pretty steadily. So it looks like that's it, it's full. So let's go ahead, get our hose out of there. Get ready, get your plug. As soon as you pull this hose out, go ahead and thread it in. Okay, Dylan, shut it off. Did you shut it off and drive? Yeah. Put it in neutral, bro. Okay, that was weird. Okay, so there we go. Fluid's transferred. Alright, cool. Almost done. I don't need to find that torque specs on this goddamn fucking piece of shit bolt. Oh, god damn it. Okay, so torque specs for this fill plug are about 14 foot-pounds. Now the only thing is, if you actually look, there's not exactly enough room to get a torque wrench up there. There's no way I can. Mine is way too big. It's not going to fit in there. I mean, this is a very small gap that I have. So, 14 foot-pounds, it's not very much. I'm just going to get my regular ratchet on it. There we go. And I'm just going to get it on. There we go. Won't move anymore. She's on pretty tight. Don't start, you know, tightening the shit out of it and end up making it a lot worse than it was. You know, just get it on pretty tight. Make sure it don't move no more, you know, with just a, you know, light to moderate amount of force. Should be fine. Hopefully I won't have to do this for a while again. And I'm sure the car will be sold by the time I really need to get back and do this anyways. I mean, I have been through it with this car. But the job is done. Now we just got to lower it and we're good to go.